All right, everybody, we're on Chapter 2, Lesson 3, Mountain and Valley Peoples. Take a look at text features. One text feature we have is looking at vocabulary, and in the chapter you'll see it highlighted. So we've got culture as a vocabulary word. And we're going to start by defining that one. You can see in the paragraph right after the word, they have the definition. Culture is the way of life, including beliefs, language, and food. So that was a vocabulary word from this chapter. Now, thinking about mountain and valley people, we're going to move on to another text feature we have here, and it is a photograph. Take a look at that house. The photograph is one text feature, and the information on the side is called a caption. Study the picture, study the caption. We already got one bit of information about why the mountain people covered their houses with bark during the winter. And that's because those were the materials that they found in the area. Mountains have lots of trees, so they found that material, bark from trees, abundantly. Now there's another reason why mountain people covered their houses with bark, and this is going to get noted in our Avid notebook. So we're talking about the Native Americans that lived in our mountain region, which is our largest region in California. Okay. The other reason that's not in the caption, but it is in the paragraphs, like in a heading called Mountain Life, I found this information. The bark is what we're referring to with this pronoun. It kept the wind out and the heat in. And remember, the mountain region gets cold every night, even in the summer. So they would want to keep the heat in. And I'll draw a picture similar to this one. They have their house. They have their doorway. And then here, what I'm drawing is bark. Bark from trees, covering their walls, keeping the heat in, keeping the cold out. Another text feature that we're very good at looking at and analyzing is a map. We're not talking about the coastal area or the desert. We're focused in the center. All of this is mountain, and in the middle we know we have our Central Valley. Okay, now look at the Central Valley. You've got everything you need there. Animals to hunt for meat, trees, plants, and you can get berries. You can get everything you need to eat. So take a look at the heading and the subheadings. Okay. Spend some time studying the meaning of two more vocabulary words that we're not going to write down. Okay, and now there's a question for the notes, and it is, why did some Central Valley groups stay in one place all year long? Think about the picture and look in your social studies book. You can analyze page 58. So we've got the question, why did some Central Valley people stay in one place all year long? That's because in the mountain area, they would have to immigrate. They would have to migrate down to the valley because the mountains are frozen. We had snow. But in the Central Valley, they could stay in one place all year long. The reason for that is they didn't have to travel far to get food or shelter. The valley had all of the resources they needed. So we'll keep the answers simple and short. The weather is always mild in the valley. That's why it is where we have all of our production of most of the fruits and vegetables, even in this country, not just in this state. The weather was mild. Okay. You could see the names of some of the tribes, the Miwoks, the Yokuts. They were the main tribes in the Central Valley, and that is notable. So, main tribes, let's see, Central Valley people, Miwoks, and and Yokuts. They were in paradise. They had everything they needed all year round because of the mild weather and the water from melting snow in the mountains. The Central Valley had lots of water and good amount of rain. Let's turn back to the mountain people again. Okay. Well, in the mountains, we also had Yokuts and Miwoks who probably came down to the Central Valley to join other Yokuts and Miwoks during winter. But we have another tribe that stayed in the mountains, the Maidu. They lived in the foothills of the Sierra Nevada mountains. We are here where we have another mountain range, but in the Sierra Nevada mountains are up here. And there's another question, right? So all of these Native American tribes had their special dances. We're going to find in our chapter why they would dance during ceremonies, why the Maidu would dance during ceremonies. And from our chapter, from the paragraphs, we find that they did these dances to honor the grizzly bear. That makes sense. The grizzly bear, which is an animal that is up in the mountains. So they would have these dances to honor the grizzly bear and the time of year when they would stop freezing and suffering because of the cold, harsh weather in winter. They would have ceremonies and dance to honor the grizzly bear and the coming of spring. And that's a fact.